Hello, welcome back finally to another video here, a league racing video here in WOR. It's been like 107 days upon recording this, I think, since my last video, but apologies for that. This time I am gonna try my best to stay consistent as possible, and yeah, hopefully just ultimately grow the channel, grow the brand. So yeah, but today it is WOR round about mid-season somewhere, Brazil. Getting straight into it. There is no quali, mainly because my wheel was on life support, so yeah, take that into consideration. But here we go, 500 lights, and away we go on the medium compound. Really good start, to be honest. Duncan struggling on the uphill start on the hards. Oh, bit of contact there. We're going to stick it, just play it safe around the outside. This time Pookie leaves a nice bit of room on the inside there. But then tags Duncan round. We have to take avoiding action, and we get 2 positions from it. So perfect start so far. Starting P15, so up to 13th now. Chanakinchi on the medium, going side by side with Xander Van Dyken. We're going to sense this opportunity to just slide up the inside of Xander there. Another position gained, so 3 positions in the first half of the lap, so that's pretty good. Kai Pearson behind on the soft, so ideally want to keep him behind as much as possible. Gonna fake one to the inside just so Kai can't send us as well. Leave him a little bit of room. Squeeze him on the grass, a little bit on the curve, so he can't send one. But then coming into here, we break a little bit early. Kai completely rear ends us. This is a terrible rejoin from me. That is completely atrocious. But yeah, little mistake there, I'd say, from Kai. He did apologise for it, so fair play to him. But as you're going to see in a few seconds, luckily for us, now we're back down into 19th, and I think it's a good chance to say what was actually going on, why I didn't have qualifying. Basically, in short, my wheel was just braking, so yeah, it wasn't going too well at this point in time, let's just say that. But yeah, we're going to try and do our best to soldier on and get the best result possible. Also, excuse the commentary, it's my first one back in like 110 days, so it might be a bit terrible. But yeah, doing my best, doing my best. But yeah, into the pits now. This is a very controversial one. I was thinking I'm now in P18 or wherever I was on the same strategy as everyone ahead or near enough a few people. So I thought, right, we're in P18, P19, nothing to lose. Let's just get offset to everyone and do our best to work our way up through the field. Here we go then. Starting on the restart, you see Duncan immediately going for Bensawi Konyi just up ahead, and we sense there's an opportunity because he's just going to be looking forward. He isn't going to see us coming. I see a little bit of battery, turn it off as early as possible because it's very hard to save the battery around here. As there's quite a few flat out sections and high downforce, so yeah, just a clinical move there. Up the inside of Bence, all fake to the inside. Forgot I even did that. Caught myself a little bit off guard. Xander is lagging everywhere, so we got to be a little bit mindful of that. We're gonna send one to the inside as he's getting shown out wide. See if we can get the traction. But yeah, ultimately it just doesn't work. But now again, we're just so much more grip, so much more speed. We're gonna send one to the insides. Easy move. Perfect there, as we're going to have to defend a little bit as Bence is now coming back at Xander. So ideally I didn't really want to use some ERS here, but yeah, it is what it is. We see this as Bence going around the outside, but not actually going for a move on us quite early, so good use of the battery there. Ismail Fassi there on the infield, crashing out, and he's now back down. You see on the mini map there, just crossing the start finish straight now. Championship leader down in last. So ultimately, it's been a terrible start to the championship for me. But yeah, back onto the race. Kai Pearson, I think he got caught a little bit napping by us there on the same strategy. We end up getting him on the infield. But yeah, still up behind Duncan though. He's been a really good job cutting through the field on his mediums. So we're just pretty much using him as a weapon to get past everyone, as he does like that send there into the hairpin I was noticing. So yeah, Luke Smith up next for Duncan here, as obviously we want to get past Duncan as well, so we're just shaping up some moves there. So yeah, Ruben Pedreño, big lag moment. He's out the race. He's gone straight into the wall in a safety car, straight out. And now what do we do? Do we pit or do we stay out? So basically, my thought process here, I think people would find it interesting to hear what we think, or what I personally think in these sort of situations. So you're making a little bit of gap there in front, just to have a little bit more time to think about what I'm going to do. And by this point, I decided to stay out, and this actually, in my opinion, was a pretty good decision, mainly because if I just pit, I'll come out in P13 or something on the same strategy as 12 other cars. So now we're up in P4 on the best tyres for the next like 3 or 4 laps. So we need to make them work. Um, so yeah, Duncan clearly hasn't got his tyres fully up to temperature. We're going to punish him here. Up the inside, easy move, he doesn't fight it too hard. And next up is the two hard runners, Alfie and Shanaka. So we're going to try and make light work of them. Obviously two extremely quick drivers, so it's going to be pretty difficult, but I think we do still have the pace advantage on this set of soft tyres. So yeah, also I was thinking about doing like maybe a strategy video, as you see here, sending up the inside of Alfie. Maybe just seeing the thought process. I don't know if people want to see that about certain strategy decisions and stuff like that. So yeah, do comment if you want to see stuff like that. Just me pausing the video, telling you my thought process between each strategy, each moment that we have. So yeah, up the inside of Shinaka, easy move, and that is the two hard runners. Done and dusted. Now, by this point, I was thinking, okay, clearly we've still got a decent bit of tyre life, as Tom Ronald's actually coming through on the fresher softs than me as well, so he's going to be making a charge up to us. But come to the end of that lap, see it, absolutely nowhere near dropping Shanaka in behind and Alfie, as well as Duncan. I think at this point does have the best tyres. So now my game plan has changed from this point on. You see me burn a lot of ERS there. That's basically just me trying to stretch the field out a little bit, because ultimately the bigger gap we have between the field was, oh wow, hello, that's a big moment there on the exit, absolutely terrible. The bigger gap we have from the guys behind is basically the shorter distance that we're gonna have to catch back up in the second stint, or second stint, as we let Shanaka pass there. I don't know, my brain just died. But yeah, in behind Shanaka now. Idea now is to just gain back my ERS as much as possible. Also, something to note, Yano is also coming back through the fields on his fresh hards. So he's actually going to be going to the end, and we just need to pretty much do as best as possible for when he comes through, is be at the front and stay with him. But yeah, past Shanaka again, as I've seen an absolute monstrosity from behind, so just need to do our best to stay out of trouble, and if we can gain the ERS back while Yano's coming through, then double win for us basically. And you may be thinking at this point, surely Yano, easy win. And to be honest, at this point, I was thinking, okay, we're going to be going on to medium on around lap 18 to 20, and Yano's going to the end, and he pitted a while ago already, so his tyres are going to be quick now, but at the end of the race, we should be really clawing the gap back to him. So yeah, Yano through, easy move, and by this point he's going to try bolt off, and we're on 15 lap old tyres, 15 lap old softs, so Yeah, it's going to be a hard challenge to stick with him. I was thinking, yeah, it's probably not going to be possible to stay with him. You see here, just fourth gear, four-wheel slide through turn four. Yeah, I know it's flashing though, so we do have an advantage of about 15% ERS. But you see through here, braking late, just not enough lateral grip in the tyre anymore. Traction as well is just not being able to plant the throttle. As unfortunately, Yano is now gone. So yeah, he's pretty much this stint now is forget about him, regain the ERS as much as possible. You see Alfie in behind. Is he going to go for a move on us? I can't remember. Um, no, it looks like we're going to be safe into turn one, which is going to be good. Never mind, let's take it back. We are not safe in turn one. Alfie takes us, and to be honest, ideal. Um, we now have a chance to gain our ERS back, and yeah, I let Shinaka go as well because ultimately, if we don't, he's going to be pestering us the whole stint. Actually, no, I don't. I send it back up the inside, but um, yeah, ultimately it just wasn't uh, the best decision to send it back on the inside because now we're going to be under attack from Thomas, and yeah, he's going to send one to the inside on his fresher softs. He hits us a little bit wide, but it's all fair. Elbows out. You see on the outside, he's just got a little bit more grip than us on those fresher softs. And now we're just on the outside of every corner. So now we're just getting swallowed up by a few people, um, which is the complete opposite of what I want. But I wasn't too worried because this is the lap I was going to pit anyway. So yeah, you see here, using a bit of battery so no one can get on the inside of us. And we are going to box this lap, you see it on the inside. And yeah, this has worked out pretty okay so far. Reason for boxing earlier than the others was tyres were dying, and two, I knew around this track, mediums being like 5 laps older than someone else, you're going to get the undercut when they catch back up, and we hit the cliff of tyre wear. I should be able to continue fighting them to the end. So yeah, by this point, we're looking on the mini map all the time now, and I'm seeing that big gap. Tiano's a good third in front of us around the lap. So yeah, I'm thinking, okay, is that possible to gain? Um, Part of me was thinking yes, as I've seen in other races that it's definitely possible, especially if they are stretching it on tyres, and we're just going to be pushing to the end. So yeah, it's definitely not over yet. He's about around 18 seconds ahead at this point, and we've got 16 laps to go. So that's about a second a lap, which is definitely possible on this set of tyres. See Ismail here pushing as we're gonna DRS swap with him to catch the two Alpine drivers, one in the AlphaTauri being Patrick Sipos. So yeah, up the inside of Ismail. Slightly fresher tyres than the two guys ahead, so yeah, they're not really going to be in our fight, which is good. So it just eliminates two people. You see here though, coming up the pits, from 15th in 20 laps we got up to 9th so far. 2 positions ahead, which should be pretty much 3 positions for us. Thus we're looking at a P6 already. And I knew, you see the McLaren and the Aston Martin? Yes, Aston Martin. They're going to the end, and they're not too far ahead. It looks a lot now, but we are going to be going around a second and a half, 2 seconds a lap quicker right now. So yeah, this is definitely game on, even maybe for the win. Jarno's not too far out of reach. We're going to be gaining about 2 seconds a lap even on him on this fresh set of tyres. So game on so far. Been a very good, very strategic drive. Pretty happy with how it's planned out so far. As now we're going for the Alpine duo. Ideally, I was thinking about getting them both, but I didn't want to burn my whole battery, and yeah, it just wouldn't be worth it. You see it getting really close in behind. Is that Thomas up the inside? No, that's Luke Smith defending his position from Ismail. I see, I don't know what they're doing behind. You see, I'm pretty much looking behind more than looking in front of me because I was just interested to see who's going to come out on top. And in the end, it was Luke. Is it going to be? No, it was Thomas. And now, easy move now on the next lap on Patrick, and now me and Thomas. Again, Thomas on slightly fresher tyres, so we're going to have to use him to our advantage when he does get his advantage and gets through Patrick to kind of like pull us along, because obviously Thomas is a very, very, very quick driver. So ultimately, we're sitting in a decent position. You see on the mini-map now, Jarno is a lot closer to us, and that gap is only about 8 seconds so far. So we are definitely we're almost on the same straight as him already, and we've still got 9 laps to go. So this is definitely still on. As Thomas there on his fresher tyres, as he hasn't quite hit the cliff yet tyre wear. So those couple laps were quite difficult to stick with him. As we had already, but now by this point we've both hit the cliff, and I know that our tyres are going to be pretty similar on pace. So I was throughout the race seeing that he was very quick through this section of track, quite a lot quicker than me. Don't know if it's set up, probably just talent to be honest. As yeah, the wheel is just about holding up for his race, and yeah. DRS on for Thomas now, as he's going to go for both of them into turn 1, but they end up going side by side, and that is absolutely ideal that he didn't get him there, because I know now that he isn't going to be able to pull a 2-second gap where I can't get back in his DRS even if he gets them both here, which is ideal. As you see here, briefly, Thomas Ronner flashing on the ERS, and we saw 63, so this is a very good situation. We will get past these two pretty comfortably as long as they stop being side by side. You see here, Thomas now starting to stretch his legs, pull away. But again, by this point, I think it's good to just not panic. I know I got considerably more ERS than Thomas. Yes, older tyres, but also I'm going to have like a proper slingshot off this final corner to hopefully put myself back in DRS. See here, he's a good, what's that, 1.8 seconds ahead. You see it, but now we're going to properly stick the ERS on. Chan is flashing, so that's an easy position. Kai also does have DRS, but we are going to absolutely burn the battery into next week. And yeah, you see there, up the inside, easy move, 30%, 40% nearly, as that's going to be easily back in the DRS of Thomas. So vital move there. You see it using just so we're close enough through the middle sector to not be vulnerable from dropping out again, as we're slightly closer on the DRS now. So yeah, easy move. And now cutting onto lap 34. See up ahead, that's Jarno Otmir. We've got 2 laps to go. He's about 2.9, I think that is ahead, 2.6, I'm not sure. And we are getting forced our hand from Ismail Fassi to go up the inside of Thomas Ronner. Easy move though, and we are up into second, making it a Mercedes 1-2. So gone from P15 to P20, back up to P13 to now P2, and potentially even fighting for the leader, which well, ultimately wasn't going to happen. Yeah, he's a bit too far ahead now. But yeah, it's going to be a 1v1v1 for P2, me versus Ismail versus Thomas. And ultimately, I'm very glad that Ismail got the position there on Thomas, because it's better to have Ismail, who's on the same age tyres as me, than Thomas, who's on, I think, 3-lap younger tyres, 2-lap younger tyres, which at the end of the race really does start to pay dividends to him. You see us still gaining to Jarno though, even though we're just kind of like focusing on behind. So it just shows like he managed a really good race, obviously, and it just shows how good these tyres are even at the end of the stint. So 40% on the ERS, but I knew Ismail was going to be burning to get past here. Little dab on the battery again, just so he can't get back to the racing line. as now we are going to be trying to play a few tactics with Ismail here. You see, turn on the battery, so does he. But you see there, he's flashing, and that is enough for me to turn off the battery. Not even go for a move here, just send him in a little bit deep, give him the apex, stay close to him, and now we're pretty much just bump drafting him. I'm not sure if he was lifting at all, but we're pretty much just pushing him up the straight. And that red light flashing, that pretty much is saying to me, okay, he's going to be out of the question. So now, hopefully, Thomas doesn't have too much more ERS than me, which he will, because we had to drain Ismail's ERS. But you see a Yano only 2 seconds ahead now, so we're really closing in now. But ultimately, it's not going to be enough. And now we're just trying to make this a Mercedes 1-2. Which is a very unexpected result looking at qualifying, but here we go up to the line. It looks like it's going to be easy on Ismail, but now we're just focusing on behind. Is Thomas going to be close enough to make advantage on our slight D-rate into the line? No, he's not, but ultimately Thomas does get Ismail, so that's perfect in the championship. Ismail gets a few less points to his championship tally. So GG Tiano 1.8 clear in the end, so it was a lot closer than what I think a lot of people were thinking. Thomas P3, GG to him, and Ismail and Shanaka. Don't really think I saw Alvaro too much, but GG against him. But yeah, very clean race, very made good clinical moves, and yeah, just pretty decent. Ideally, we don't want to be fighting that far back when we qualifying well, but yeah. First video back. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm back on YouTube now, so hopefully gonna be just getting some more good league racing content in the future. F1 Esports 2, get some of those videos out. Hopefully that when it comes back. But yeah, appreciate everyone watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers.